Yes, that's another shark deck that you're about to see. I love the fact that you get like the duality of different conversions for this deck. We have another Plunder Patrol deck, and is that Dinomorphia? Okay. Alright, of course, make sure you guys aren't like 30% of you that aren't smashing the living crap out of that subscribing. Just make sure you're smashing it so we can climb up the subscriber ladder here. So we have another take for sharks here. You know, between the two lists that you've now seen, you have a lot of, I guess, leeway in order to exploring this deck. Now, this one's going to focus more on the fact that you can bring out the man-eating black shark here off of the ready fusion or the instant fusion. So it's going to be 6 ways to generate, you know, this big level 5 shark monster so you can get into your larger exceed monsters. Thank you, level 5 requirements. You love to see it. So actually, it's kind of cool. So we have triple copies of the Abyss Shark. We have triple copies of the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring for defense. Triple copies of Buzzsaw Shark. We have triple copies of Crystal Shark. Triple copies of Dream Shark. 2 copies of Lantern Shark, and 1 copy of the Silent Sea Nettles. Yeah, everything in this, so many sharks. Like, take a combination of cool monster and it'll assist you. We have 1 Call by the Grave with triple Foolish Burial Goods. We have triple copies of Forbidden Droplet with 1 Instant Fusion. We have 1 Monster Reborn with 2 copies of Pod Desires. We have triple Ready Fusion with 1 Torpedo Takedown. We have 2 Talents with 2 Ice Barrier, and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, wrapping up your main deck. Down the extra, you have the 1 Valiant Shark Lancer, 1 Totally Awesome, 1 Silent Honor Dark with 1 Stealth Kraken. We have 1 Silent Honor Arc with 1 Nash Knight, 1 Full Armor Crystal Zero, 1 Zeus with 1 Marksman King Tell, your 1 King Deuce, your 1 CXYZ Nash Knight, your 1 Bahamut Shark, your 1 Abyss Dweller, and 2 copies of the Man-Eating Black Shark. Side deck here, you got triple copies of the Big Ball, 1 Gamma Seal with 1 Pinkertops, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, 1 Harpies Feather Duster, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Evenly Matched, and 2 Solemn Judgment with 1 Appointer of the Red Lotus here. Wrapping up, quite honestly, one of the coolest, I'd say more innovative than cool, but I'm so happy to see like sharks actually getting the chance to see something. That's so cool. Next up here is Plunder Patrol. Now, this pretty much smashed its localized competition, and let me tell you, a good thing about this deck is you're able to, depending on how a format shapes up, you have so many cards that you're able to like rotate in. If Bysteals don't suit your localized metagame, you can bring in not lava golems, but bring in, you know, powerhouse cards like kaijus and, you know, the support around them to take care of some of those troublesome monsters that your opponent might be setting up. And, you know, you can go ahead and do your standard Plunder Patrol plays and start climbing up. And that's basically what you're going to have to do in order to kind of keep up with this deck. So do keep that in mind here. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We have triple copies of the Black Eyes, the Plunder Patrol Sea Guide. Triple copies of Blue Beard. And we have 1 Baldrake. 2 copies of Druisworm with triple copies of Magna Hut. We have triple copies of Effect Veiler with triple copies of Golden Hair. We have triple copies of Fenrir with triple copies of Space Rock. Good old 2 copies of Redbeard. And then we have triple copies of Whitebeard. Triple copies of Shipyard with 1 Terraforming. Your triple Imperm. And your 1 copy of Thine Booty. Down here in the extra, you get the 1 Almirage. Your triple Blackbeard with your 1 Totally Awesome. 2 copies of the Morik, 1 Bahamut Shark with a 1 Jord, 2 Jord. We have 2 copies of Bran, 1 Baron, and then 2 copies of the Lice. And then, of course, we have 1 Baldrake, 1 Snoraneer, 1 Change of Heart with triple copies of Lightning Storm. We have triple copies of Dimensional Barrier, triple copies of Evenly Matched, and triple copies of Rivalry of the Warlords here. Wrapping up, yep, once again, another interesting combination of cards that can make the new format semi-tolerable, and that's honestly why I love Plunder Patrol. Like, this deck has so many cool plays going for it. Next up here is my, I'm not gonna lie, we're down like 1-2 good cards. You know, once we get the Supreme King Soul here for this, I am actually going to be super excited. Like, Supreme King Soul is one of the few cards that the minute we get it, I might actually return back to being a Dinomorphia main, because it gives this deck so many cool plays that it's actually kind of ridiculous. So we have triple copies of Diplos. triple copies of Therizia, we have triple copies of Lord of the Heavenly Prison, and we have 1 copy of Miscellaneous Ceresaurus. And then, of course, we have triple Fossil Dig and triple Duality. Now, keep in mind, Duality is perfectly fine to play in here, because your turn 1 is going to be usually used for sifting, and you're not going to fusion summon until your opponent's turn, so no real confliction here. We have triple copies of Compulsory Evacuation Device. We have 1 Alert with 1 Brute, triple copies of Domain. We have triple copies of Frenzy with 1 Sonic, and then we have triple copies of the Ferret Flames with triple copies of Infinite Permanence. Then you got the triple Psalm Steerike and triple copies of Trap Trick here, wrapping up your main deck. Down the extra deck, got 1 Baguski, 1 Logia with 1 Dolka. We have 1 Sky Thunder with 1 M7, 1 Abyss Dweller. We have triple copies of Stealth Kingrina, triple copies of Rexstrom, and triple copies of good old Kingrina. Then we have 1 Pinkertops, triple copies of Droll and Lockbird, 2 copies of Godarli. We have triple Sarvis, triple copies of Twin Twister, and then triple copies of Dimensional Barrier here, wrapping up Standard Control. You know, unironically, Ferret Flames has turned into one of the best cards that Dinomorphia players have got the chance to play. I always love the fact that you can see the glimmer in a Dinomorphia player's eyes when they're talking about how good Ferret Flames is for a card. It definitely puts a smile on their face. That's for sure. Next up here is Unchained Evil Twin. Yeah, you heard me say that right. This is a combination of things that you don't tend to see all that often. I mean, obviously, you know, what, you get locked into Fiend as you're, you know, going down the lines of play down here. I don't think that's really that much of a punishment, because, you know, your Unchained cards are going to not really lock you into any... You're good to go. It's like the point I'm trying to say is, like, there's not much of a confliction here once you kind of start going. So it's definitely an interesting hybrid of things you don't really tend to see a lot of. So we have 1 Abominable Unchained Soul, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, triple Effect Failure. We have triple copies of the Kishi Sakil with 1 Kishi Sakil Frost. You got the triple Lilla with 1 Lilla Treat. And we have 1 Space Rock, 1 Unchained Soul of Disaster, 2 Aruha, and 2 copies of Rekia, along with 2 copies of Sorama. Then you have triple copies of the Abomination's Prison, 1 copy of Call by the Grave, 1 Crossout Destiny. That's kind of interesting to see, like, a little bit of an inclusion of that. We have 1 Life Twin Home, triple copies of the Sunny Snitch, triple copies of Secret Password, triple Twin Twisters. Then you have 1 copy of the Abominable Chamber of the Unchained, 1 Escape of the Unchained, and 1 copy of the Evil Twin Challenge. Down the extract, you got the 1 Soul of Rage, your 1 Soul of Anguish with 1 Abomination, 1 Lina with 1 Unicorn. We have 1 Geonator Transverser, 2 copies of Troubled Sunny, 2 copies of Lilla, 2 copies of Kishi Sakil, 1 copy of Centuria, 1 Downer Magician, and 1 good old Sky Thunder. Then we got 2 Chaos Hunter, 2 copies of DD Crow, triple copies of Gamma Seal, triple copies of Spooky Dogwood, triple Lightning Storm, and 2 copies of Solemn Strike here. Wrapping up a semi-interesting innovation. Like I said, you don't really tend to see a lot of combination builds like this, because, you know, usually most people, like, you got to focus on this, but, you know, the Kishi skill stuff actually kind of adds an interesting dynamic to this. Last we have here is Mushroom Man. This is a cute little list that I just want to showcase for my friend. As you know, we're kind of unpacking here for the beginning of the new format here. Kind of showcase some cool ideas that you might find yourself playing. I don't think the TCG is going to go down the route of Mushroom Man #2, but you know what? It's better to be safe than sorry. So we have triple copies of Ash, Blossom, and Joy Spring. We have triple copies of Dimension Shifter, triple copies of Fenrir with triple copies of Rise Heart. Then we have triple copies of La Unicorn with 1 Mushroom Man #2, triple Gamma with 1 Scareclaw and 1 Tier Elements. And then we have 1 Driver. We have 1 Call by the Grave with 2 copies of Birth. We have triple copies of Papayas, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity, triple copies of Race Sloth, 1 Rhoda, 1 Terraforming, triple Imperm, and then 1 good old Big Bang. Down the extra, get the 1 Link Spider, 1 Lingaribo, 1 Goliath with 1 Donner, 1 Asa with 1 Flare Metal, 1 Diablos, and then we have 1 Number 11, 1 Dracosac, 2 Shangri-La, 2 Rise Heart, 1 Zeus, and 1 Dark Armed Dragon, the Dragon of Annihilation. And you got triple Spooky Dogwood, triple Lava Golem, 1 Arby's Feather Duster, your 1 Lightning Storm, your 2 Thrusting, your 2 Twin Twisters, and your triple copies of Evenly Matched here, wrapping up Well, another interesting chunk of good old deck profiles for you guys today. So what do you guys think about these goodies? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I always love to hear the cool little ideas that you guys are coming up with. And, well, I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.